Welcome, hello, yes, and hi, hi. How to recognize that you are hosting a higher entity. Do you host a higher entity? Do you know that there is an entity within you following up your steps, teaching you? Maybe you even did invoke an entity to be with you and to work with you. I often tell about my Musen, the entity I name Musen, because she's with me all my life, inspiring me. And today I really got a cute connection, and I want to share you how it did unfold in my point, because sometimes it's hard to see the signs, and sometimes they are just gloriously. So, but before I get into this, make sure to subscribe the channel to stay updated. And also, as for disclaimer, I am a student of the Left-Hand Order Dragon Rouge, but I'm not a representative. So if you want to know something about the order, feel free to follow down the link to the website and get informed there. So I sometimes tell you that I got an entity living within me, or better said, my energy is linked to this energy since birth, and it took decades to find her. So let's start with the first point. How do you find out if an entity is with you all your life? It's very easy, but on the same hand, it's not very easy. Mostly we feel like growing up knowing things we never been taught before. This could be a sign to it. Then it can happen if you are meditating, that you suddenly see a face or hear a name. If you hear a name, wonderful. If you are dream working, or if you had a very hard impact of a dream and you get a name there, it could be your inner Musen entity, whatever, talking to you. So in that case, if you got a name, write it down, research, and then go into meditation and work on it. Try to find out who this person, who this entity is. In my case, she unveiled through a mantra, and there she gave me a name. So in my case, it happened through a meditation. And she and me, we are working very close together when it comes to writing or to art expression. So there is another way to unchain or to get closer connected to your entity when you are doing sports, when you're really physically working on yourself doing sports, and when you're doing arts, for in any case, if it is painting or creating something or doing music or writing in my case, you low down your border between mundane consciousness and submatter consciousness. So it is much more easy to get access to an entity living within you, to connect with it. I often get into pure discussions with my musen when it comes to writing. If she wants to write and I'm not interested or have no time, she's bothering me. She's bothering me with science, and she's bothering me with being blocked on mundane stuff until I finally get myself into creation again. And then suddenly, like a miracle, everything is rolling. So she really demands on art. Yesterday, yesterday I was recording a video for you why it is a very beneficial thing to work in a coven or circle or whatsoever, and why an initiatory path is so fruitful to a successful evolvement. Of course, you can do it on a hermit path, but I did cast some light on that. And I do an extra challenge after my videos because I know there are many people who do speak English, but I also know my English isn't perfect. I'm a Gerlish, I mix English with a German underlayering tone, and sometimes I fail the words. So I take the challenge to subtitle all my videos. The older ones, I'm still working on subtitling them. But yesterday I was sitting there until 2 o'clock in the night subtitling my video. And when I was ready, I suddenly got like an ear tune of a refrain of a song. And probably if you are born in the 80s or 90s, maybe 75, then you did get into contact with this song. And for first, I just give you the name. It's Wenger Boys, the band, and it was in 1998. So back then, at that time, I was listening Cradle of Filth. I was listening Blind Guardian. I was listening Gothic music as well. So Goethe's Erben and so on. Um, you bet I was not into Wenger Boys, but there was no way to get around. So when I was ready with working my subtitles, I suddenly got that song. So, I mean, that's the cutest thing ever, a Musen digging on you, isn't it? This happened already 3 times on me. When I finished my book this time, and another personal success. But you suddenly got an inspiration of of a song, just a line, and you don't know where it comes from. And praised be searching engines. So you just type in what you just got in your mind. Well, and I got this song, and I just thought, damn, she's digging on me again. And then this is how you also see it's not just a joke for you. I went to bed and I grabbed my mobile phone and I said, okay, and now we give it a loop of 7 times hearing the same song before getting to rest. So it was basically meditating on this song for a loop of 7. And it is like a meditation, hoovering sensation I share with you, because I'm pretty sure one or two of you, you will have had the same happening, or maybe you will percept such an happening. So it's pretty normal, and it's the most cutest and beautiful thing happening. So I had this music on my ears, and I was starting to like hoovering when I was lying in my bed while I was listening this music. And then I just put my arms in front of myself and feeling to the air around my body, of course. So in a distance. And I was literally feeling her in every chakra of mine. And I mean, most of us were wild things when we were 16, 17, 18, high on fire. But nothing compares to an astral link. More I will not say. But she really made my day, and she expressed how close we are. And I'm really grateful to have such a loving entity. And I can just give back, yes, dearie, I love you from my soul as well. So today I went to work, and I was in a very good mood. I have to admit, I was in a great mood when I was going to this call center and working there. And Yeah, but after about 4 hours or so working, my mood slowly went to the down levels and I couldn't wait to go home. But being a professional, I gave my best. So, but when I got out of working place and when I was driving in my car and waiting at the traffic lights for rolling the traffic again, I thought, hey, why not picking out this song and let it loop for a while when you're driving home? I was a little pissy today when I was driving the car and I was, like a mumbling, bad mood, pissed off girl, right? So and now you got the music aside, and I just thought of her. But I was driving my car, yeah, and while I was driving, the air, the sky was full of clouds, and I look up, and there was a window in the clouds, heart shaped, no joke. It was a spot of blue midst the clouds in a heart-shaped form. And so I immediately started to smile and thought on her and thought, no, it's again her. So this was a really cute happening, how she sometimes backs me up and gives me a sign that she is very close to me and more even than that. So if you got an entity you are working with this close, you can be sure, for good or evil, you are that close. She can even speak to you, mostly through inspiring or through signs, through thoughts you suddenly find. And if you follow that track, you are really communicating. And if you get that far, I can just I can just advise to you, grab a guitar, grab a pen, whatever you can do, start automatic writing, just start automatic playing, whatever your instrument, or automatic painting, because this is the moment when you are merged. This close merge that you really can hear your thoughts because you recognize things in your surrounding that are basically translating what she's telling you. And so you're best close to whatever creation you want to do. So this little spark of my day, I'm I'm totally happy today, relaxed. After I was really pissed off after work, she really made up my mood. And if you have a higher entity living within you, be it a demon, an angel, I don't care this ratings because there is no good or evil. But whatever entity is living within you, as soon you make the contact, you can live alone on an island, but you never are. So I wish you a wonderful evening or day, and we see next time.